Germany and Denmark have not yet received any defeat at the Euro, but surely one of them will have to taste the feeling of defeat after the upcoming clash. More than 80,000 fans were ready to fill the fire at Signal Iduna Park to wait for an epic match with many highlights. Of course, the home team Germany is the side that receives higher ratings. However, it would be too subjective to underestimate Christian Eriksen and his teammates. The reason is because in the most recent Euro, it was Denmark that created an earthquake when it reached the semi-finals and was quite close to participating in the final match. However, the challenge of the lead soldiers in this tournament will be more difficult when they have to encounter a championship candidate quite early. Accordingly, the German team is the team that owns the most impressive attack in Euro until now, with 8 goals scored against the opponent. A total of 6 stars scored for the Tanks, and this is a detail that proves that coach Julian Nagelsmann is not too dependent on any one striker to ensure goal output. Besides, it's impossible to talk about Germany right now without mentioning Toni Kroos. With 323 accurate passes in the group stage, the 34-year-old midfielder equaled the record he created 8 years ago. Obviously, time cannot make Kroos's good qualities fade, and as long as the factor born in 1990 flourishes, the Tanks are not afraid of any opponent in the home tournament. In addition, German fans can also put their trust in the magical legs that Jamal Musiala possesses. The Bayern Munich mainstay is currently playing in a formation that suits him and is ready to torment the Danish defense with tireless running and smart football thinking. Certainly, the ball will be heavily focused on Jamal Musiala's position in the upcoming match, and if he just finds sublimation, the 21-year-old star can be an important factor in bringing the home team to the quarterfinals. However, it would be a bit subjective to say that the player born in 2003 and his teammates have formed a winning machine with no weaknesses. The reason is that coach Julian Nagelsmann's team still has areas to improve. The match against Switzerland in the final round of the group stage is the clearest proof. Even without Niklas Füllkrug's late goal, Germany would have faced defending champion Italy in the round of 16. However, sometimes such difficult matches are the necessary silence for a championship candidate. In addition, Nagelsmann has certainly prepared very carefully for the upcoming match by analyzing Denmark and is not afraid to share his perspective with the statement. Denmark are a very well-organized team. There are periods when they defend fiercely, but then they execute great attacks. Denmark has many experienced players and a very clear squad. It's a respectful comment, and basically the achievement of 3 points after the group stage thanks to 3 draws is an acceptable result for Christian Eriksen and his teammates. Remember, on the day of his debut, the 32-year-old midfielder had an extremely classy performance before scoring against Slovenia to prove that he is still very important in the Northern European team. In the second match, the expensive England team and the leading goal from Harry Kane did not make Denmark tremble. They quickly equalized thanks to Morten Hjulmand and also had opportunities to decide the match. All in all, the lead soldiers are a quality team with a combination of experienced elements and young stars. Of course, fans are still waiting for a more explosive version of Denmark, and this is the responsibility of coach Kasper Hjulmand. After 3 group stage matches, Denmark only had 2 goals, but none of them belonged to the strikers. Clearly, Rasmus Højlund has not found his most sublime version despite shining in the qualifying campaign. Besides, Jonas Wind and other strikers also need to speak up at the right time if they do not want to leave Germany without once putting their names on the scoreboard. The above worry is even greater when the defender of Germany's wooden goal in the next match is likely to still be the experienced Manuel Neuer. However, the Bayern Munich mainstay will need to focus very much on the next match because the German defense faces the risk of not having the services of both top midfielders. The reason is because Jonathan Tah will be suspended in the 1/8 round because he has received enough yellow cards. As for Rudiger having health problems, even though he was seen in training yesterday, the German midfielder still left the possibility of starting. And in case the Real Madrid pillar is not at 100% fitness, two of the three stars Nico Schlotterbeck, Robin Koch, and Waldemar Anton will receive the trust. However, these are not options that bring complete peace of mind. So goalkeeper Neuer's role will be extremely important in the upcoming clash. From a slightly different perspective, the change can reach the offensive line as well. The Tank's Werniclas Füllkrug is receiving quite positive reviews. The Dortmund star is rumored to start against Denmark, and the above update may threaten Kai Havertz's starting position. In case Nagelsmann wants to use both factors mentioned above, Florian Wirtz will be the name on the bench. All in all, 4-2-3-1 will still be the diagram that the German team uses in the 1/8 round, in which veteran Manuel Neuer protected the wooden frame and received help from Schlotterbeck, Kimmich and Mittelstadt. In the most ideal case, Antonio Rudiger will start with the other stars. And when the opposite scenario occurs, Waldemar Anton is the factor receiving trust. In the midfield, Toni Kroos and Andrich are options that bring peace of mind. There are fresh likes waiting for Niklas Füllkrug to lead the German attack. If given the starting role, the Dortmund player will receive support from the trio of Ilkay Gundogan, Florian Wirtz and Musiala. Regarding the playing chart, 3-4-1-2 is the formation that Denmark will use in the next match. With Kasper Schmeichel standing in the wooden goal, supporting the former Leicester star is the trio of Christensen, Vestergaard and Anderson. Meanwhile, the four-man midfield, including Alexander Bah, Thomas Delaney, Højbjerg and Mail, will have to play extremely focused. In attack, the duo Rasmus Højlund and Jonas Wind receive support from striker Christian Eriksen, with the ultimate goal of breaking the German team's net. A little more information: both sides have stars who have received a yellow card and need to be very careful if they don't want to be suspended in the quarterfinals. However, it is difficult to keep a cool head when the two teams are about to compete at the football stadium always famous for its enthusiasm, Signal Iduna Park. With a capacity of more than 80,000 seats, the holy place at Dortmund Club is always a nightmare for every team that has to be a guest here. Even Julian Nagelsmann himself admitted that he was very nervous every time he went to Signal Iduna Park as the opponent's coach. However, when playing the role of captain of the home team, the 36-year-old strategist called on the fans to create as noisy an atmosphere as possible. On the other side of the front line, coach Kasper Agelmand also hopes that Danish fans will quickly move to Dortmund to support the Northern European team. Everyone understands that Leeds soldiers are underestimated, and the 16% probability of winning after the official 90 minutes that the computer gave Michael Schmeichel's students and teammates is the clearest proof. The above number is not even 1/3 of the 59% chance of winning in the two main rounds that Germany possesses. Therefore, if they need more confidence, Danish fans will need the historical factor, when 3 out of the 4 most recent confrontations between the two teams ended in a draw. Of course, this is already the round of 16 and extra time will occur if the sides cannot decide a winner after 90 minutes. Many fans are even waiting for the penalty shootout to test the Stars' bravery. It is known that in case the match lasts longer, Julian Nagelsmann and his team will have some advantage because they have more days off than Denmark after the final group match. Obviously, having become one of the 16 strongest teams in Euro, both sides will play with 100% determination. Before thinking about possibly having to face their charming opponent Spain in the quarterfinals, Germany needs to really concentrate in this encounter. Home field advantage is obviously a huge motivator, But everything can backfire if Germany doesn't start well and has to fall into a chasing position. Therefore, a consistent approach with the goal of getting ahead early is a reasonable plan for the tanks. As for Denmark, the Nordic country is already famous for its fairy tales. And who knows, the latest chapter will appear in the firepan of Signal Iduna Park.